Hi guys, what are we, Harry?
We're back.
How are you, bro?
Doing very well.
Good. Well, we have had some amazing information come across our proverbial desks, haven't we, my friend?
Yeah, yeah. Our
Um,
our uh, our mental modems.
oh God, it's insane what we're coming across, or what's being handed to us, given to us, shown to us. And we're going to get into some of that. But first of all, Harry is going to do his little presentation that he's been working so hard on. Hard. Oh. All right, Harry. So you want to take it away, bro? Let's get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've been talking a lot about the Yehudans, duality. Pretty much a lot of things we talk about on our channel is the repelling, the pulling apart of what we consider as maybe something that should be one. At least the controllers want us to think that it should be reunited. So I started to put together this presentation. I'm calling it Solution. Whoa, let's go back one. Solution, the Sol Luna Shun, because we all know that Sol means sun and Luna means moon. And according to this picture, it's really probably, if they're not the same, they're very close to the same, maybe even twins.
Yep.
So let's look first at what is the sun. Both the sun and the sun is what we say is the hot or male, the plus or the positive. We saw previously that in this flat plane that is composed of a sun that is, of course, life-giving. It gives life to both plants and animals on this realm. It provides the energy that starts photosynthesis. And for humanity, it pretty much provides vitamin D for our survival. It warms up this world and provides the essential light electrically, as we see through the argon gases, through the inert gases that brighten the sky. Because we know that the sun hovers over the earth, and it lights up the various inert gases, which causes the colors to change depending on what part of the sky the sun is in, what part of the atmosphere.
Yep.
So let's look at the moon. The moon is the cool female or minus pole. The cool evening moon wanes light to dark and then light again. In these pictures I've shown is like a blood moon that I took a picture of, just a cloudy moon. This is a picture of the moon, full moon. And then this is over a barn that I snapped the picture of. So it manages the growth of seasonal plants. A lot of people who are alchemists will only plant certain things during certain times of the month to maximize their growth, maybe their vitality, things like that. It's also, we know that the moon works in a 28-day or 28-night cycle. And this cycle governs the month. And I use the word mon, like the month, or the one, like the mono. And that ushers in the new life from the womb, because we also know that the female, the menstrual cycle is pretty much following that same path.
Yeah. And the interesting thing, as I mentioned earlier, the moon shade is warmer than moonlight. It's the opposite to
Right.
the sun.
Yeah. So if you were to stand in the moonlight and take the temperature of, let's say, the concrete that you're standing on, and then take the temperature of the same concrete, but in a shaded, or let's say under a tree, you would see a slight difference in temperature.
Yep.
All right, so the next slide we're going to say is called Let the Tug of War Dance Begin. And so we're going to look at what actually is going on when the sun and the moon kind of converge. They kind of meet up in the sky. Again, as we already touched on in the podcast number 55, which was called The Simpson, or the Sons of the Sims, we talked about how the black hole sun generates the false sun and moon, which eventually regulates the time in this plane realm that we live in. The sun is the portal, and I want to emphasize that it's like a portal sun, and it ushers on the death of this extinguishing battery that we persons, or we people, are. And once we've given away that, once we're given the warmth and the energy to grow, then it's time for that sun to pretty much regather it. So eventually the portal opens to usher in the dead and the dried out man with tantalize them with a tantalizing drink of living water, just like we learned in Plato's work. It's called the River Lethe. And eventually that drink of water washes away any memory that may be still maintained in any kind of mindset. So we look at the sun and the moon at the bottom. We see how they converge together. Eventually, the sun will have gathered all of the life force from humanity. And then what he'll do, because I'm going to say he, because the sun is male, will shoot that energy over like a rocket, like a phallic symbol.
Going to the moon, yeah.
To the moon, just like in that early 20th century movie. And then eventually, once that is penetrated, we see the conversion of the sun and moon together to create a new life.
What's the significance of the moon with that thing, whatever it is, over the eye?
That's the rocket ship. That's
okay.
The phallic symbol that penetrates.
Right, because that's going to lead us. I see that as leading us into what we're going to talk about in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The eye, yeah, okay, and then we've got the yin yang, which is the pi and phi.
Yeah,
and the yin yang.
Yeah, and the yin yang is representing that you're going to now take two separate components and you're going to join them together and create something new.
Yeah.
So let's now take a quick look at the plane. This plane, a lot of people would say that this is a friendly realm. The Mother Earth is our friend. But if you look at the top slide, you see really this is just a realm where a man ages. As he ages, he dies. And then as he dies, he's regenerated as a baby, only to grow up again as a prime man. And then eventually just fall into that same cycle of death.
Well, what I'm seeing here, what's interesting is the difference between the word friend and fiend is just the letter R. And the letter R happens to be the 18th letter, which is 6 + 6 + 6.
Yes, the 666 again. So is the mother our friend, or is she really a fiend? Maybe not a mother so much, but maybe a matter maker. And what's she making matter for? The Mother Earth is making matter for the Satan, which is really us.
Yeah, because Satan represents the ego, the materialism. In the Bible, where it says Satan took Jesus onto the highest mountain and said, all this I will give you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about materialism, which is what a lot of people in this material realm worship. Money is their god.
Again, we have the word mon, which is a type of month, which is money,
Moon
which
eye.
is mon eye, which we saw as in the previous slide. We saw the rocket had just entered into the eye, the mon eye of the moon.
One
so
eye.
there's definitely there's definitely a connection there. And then, like you said, we will talk about the one eye later. But again, when I call humanity Satan, it's not a pitchfork and horns.
No.
We're talking about the adversary that is going against the Yaldabaoth, the evil overlord, the guy behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Right? That's who we are. We are the adversary. And even in Revelation 12:12, it does identify Satan as having a short time on earth, Revelation 12:12.
Yeah.
That's got to be us. It's the 80-year time realm that we have on this planet or plane.
Yeah.
So let's look at Son. The Son is Jesus, and he is the male. He nourishes us with vitamin D, yet slowly cooks us all. The body battery, made up of water and electrolytes, is the plus and minus polarity and is dehydrated as we age. We pretty much prune up as we get older. All the cell salts of the body, which are composed of 12 cell salts of salvation. It's a really good book. If you ever go online, it's called The 12 Cell Salts of Salvation. You should read that. It also overlaps onto the 12 gods of Olympus and the 12 months, of course. Because even though when we are born into this realm, we fall onto an astrological sign. Of course, most people know what theirs is, but that also correlates to the 12 cell salts. Now, we utilize all the 12 salts, but 1 or 2 are going to be primary salts, and the rest are going to be secondary, tertiary, and so forth. But these are what monitor and control your body. And one person on the comments had said that because a lot of times the God of the Bible kind of has different identities. He's called God, he's called Yahweh, he's called Lord. He's given many names. It could be that they take turns, wielding their power over us on the plane. And as they do that, they take turns until we perish into the light.
Yeah, we talked about that before with the Lord, the capitalized Lord in the Bible, because he's got so many different traits, a loving God and a destroying God. It's quite possible that it's not actually the same deity, that they're taking turns in ruling.
In one, he's angry. In one, he's joyful. In one, he's jealous. Yeah. It could be a bunch of different of 12 Olympian gods that are taking turns tagging in and tagging out.
Yeah.
So let's look at the moon. The moon is Lucy. The moon is Lucifer, and it's female.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds. We'll touch on that as well in a minute.
Mm-hmm. So astrologically, the 12 gods, which were really 11, plus their superior. We talked about that too. Mm-hmm. The 11 is significant because there's probably 3 groups. And we said that when these 3 groups meet up, usually they'll send one as the arbiter. And when they convene, there's 12 of them.
Yeah.
So they all take turns in that tag team effort to control us. Put us in fear, keep us in a low vibration. So we'll look at how in this moon cycle, the moon can actually have a different name. And when it's in a crescent form, its name is sin. That's why when we're born of the moon, really born of sin. That's what the Bible really is talking about. We're not born from, I mean, we're not born with sin, but we're born from sin.
Yeah.
Is the moon. So at that crescent or pre-crescent stage, it's invisible. Why? Because it is still empty from the phallic discharge not having been filled yet by the sun, but eventually will fill from the loins of the sun, only to finally empty once again when that creation is finally transferred to earth and born. Mm-hmm. So that's where we see the phases. The moon is probably some kind of clear concave disk in the sky, which takes on the filling like a bartender will fill your glass with ice and whatever your choice of alcohol if you're drinking, and then once you drink it down, you pretty much empty it.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about the word bar. Bar means the sun, and so a bartender is the one that's pouring those drinks and putting them on ice or off ice, depending on which direction you're going.
What is he pouring? He's pouring spirits. It's all there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's pouring spirits for sure, and that is in the form of that phallic transfer that we talked about. So Yahweh, the off-ice sun in the sky, Uranos, would have a conversation with someone. Someone would have a conversation with Yahweh and say, what y'all, the Baoth, are doing is a salt and battery, putting us on ice in this prism for humans.
Hue meaning color. Yeah.
That's right, because that's what comes out of a prism. A prism is the light broken down into the spectrum colors.
Yep.
So finally, we're going to talk about time. And what does time do? But time emits. It's also an anagram for time, because time will emit the intended trap. And we've talked about this. Time is a trap, because really time serves no purpose other than we talked about this, for convenience. So the sun-moon matrix is what we call the control mechanism that traps the holographic human in time. This time prison is the material convenience. That's it. So you are the battery for his material convenience. Don't reverse that. This is not for your convenience. It's for his convenience. So ultimately, you go to jail, you don't pass go, you do not collect $200.
Yeah, I always wondered why it's $200. If anybody knows, put it in the comments. But before I come out of this, I just want to mention the Revelation 12:12, right? The tarot card, the 12th tarot card is the Hanged Man, right? It's number 12. Mm-hmm. And that depicts us being born into this material realm, right? So it's connected to the 12 hours we've got two sets of 12 hours in the day, right?
Yeah.
We've got 12 months of the year, the 12 salts in our body. So it's very interesting that the Hanged Man, and don't forget, we come out of the
womb.
Yeah, we come out of the womb head first, right?
Upside down.
Yeah. Now I maintain that we made a contract to come here, and if you break your contract, it's called a breach of contract. Mm-hmm. And if you're not born head first, it's called a breach birth.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Now, I have been watching a lot of Logan's videos, Decode Your Reality. We've emailed each other a few times, and we're going to be doing a show together, hopefully on the be your 26th, my 27th. Now he totally on board with when we die, we go to the sun feeds the moon, and we come back, the cycle. It's the Trinity, the 19, the 37, the 46, which is the tree of life. But one thing that he doesn't subscribe to is the idea that we can get out, right? And we're going to be talking about that when we get together. We've also got one coming up next Friday or Saturday with Michelle Gibson. That's going to be really good. We're going to be talking about Tartaria. We're going to be talking about the copy and pasted realm and how it answers all the questions and so on and so forth. But we don't want to take up too much time on this one. But we're gonna do a presentation on this. We're giving it some thought. So we're going to put the idea out there, and it's to do with the all-seeing eye. Now, Harry and I were having a chat yesterday, and you came up with this mind-blowing possibility. I'll let you talk about it, but the way it started, guys, was if you look at anything, we've got two eyes, right? If we look at anything and then we close one eye, nothing really changes, does it? We're still seeing the same image with one eye as we see with two eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what was your idea?
Well, we have two eyes, but we always, even when we were kids, we always looked through a monocular, right? Like a telescope or an eyepiece. Sometimes we'd use the roll out of a paper towel roll, and we'd play like that as children. So you see the same image whether you're using one eye or two, but so you cover one eye and you still see the same thing as you would with two. But I told Nigel that maybe we only use one eye at a time. The other eye may be for surveillance by our controller.
The watchers.
Yeah. So one of our eyes may be feeding his system, and he's able to see what we do. Because even biblically, it says that you're never alone. He's always with you. So could it be that we have two eyes because one of them is for our use and our functionality so that we can be his battery and feed his realm, but the other one is so that he can keep a tab on us and monitor our everyday goings on.
See what we're doing, and I made a list of a few things. Pirates.
Much like a tracking device.
Yeah.
On a lot of our phones now, if we have a loved one like a child, we can track them by no location. This could be just his technology by putting an extra eye in here so he can see what we see.
Well, you've got the Hollywood symbolism, music industry symbolism. You've got pirates that wear a patch. Popeye. The actor, I forget his name, in the Marvel movies, Nick Fury is the character's name, and he wears an eye patch. And I also remembered a teddy bear. I thought it was Save the Children, but it doesn't appear to be. But I remember a logo for something like Save the Children, and it was a teddy bear with an eye patch. So there's got to be something in this, guys. Think of all the CCTV that surrounds us all. I mean, I had to buy a new phone. I mean, this phone's got, you can see that, it's got three cameras in the back, one in the front. Is this the controllers here trying to do what the creator is doing, which is basically watching our every move, seeing what we see? You know what I mean? With all the CCTV and all the phone monitoring, is that their intervention, the way of, because we know they play God, you know what I mean? Or what we traditionally know as being God. Yeah.
So all these people with one eye, like let's say the pirates, maybe they purposely have taken out one because maybe if you're using yours and you don't have the extra one, now he can't see what you're doing.
Yeah. 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 So you're actually blocking. You're actually blocking not your own vision, but you're blocking the tracking. The tracking. Yeah.
Much like what I do on some cases, I put a cover over my camera just to make sure that they're not monitoring me when I don't want it, right? So kind of like what we do with a VPN.
Yeah, I mean the one eye, the eye in the sky, the one-eyed symbolism on the back of the dollar bill. I'm convinced it's the sun, right? The sun is the giver of life. The sun is the taker of life. If you're out in the desert with no water, you ain't gonna last long. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. You know what I mean? It's all symbolic.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Just like in the presentation just now, he gives us the sun gives us the vitamins, and then it sucks away our hydration.
Yeah.
The other symbolism too is the one-eyed snake. We know what that's a reference to. I don't need to mention it. We saw what it did to the moon in this presentation. It's the one-eyed snake. It's the serpent.
You've also got to remember that the depiction of Yaldabaoth, the serpent, the dragon, only has one eye. Yeah. So are they telling us? Are they telling us in that as well? Quite possibly. I mean, guys, it doesn't matter what you actually think or what you believe with respect to all of the biblical narrative. I mean, you've got to think that the first few books of the Old Testament come from the Torah. Torah comes from Taurus field, Taurus the bull, the Bible, the bull of Wall Street. You know what I mean? It's all connected.
Don't forget one more bull.
Well, yeah. BS.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
BS.
So this existence, this realm is a Taurus field, right? It's a Taurus field, Taurus, but you have the star sign Taurus, which is the bull. It's all connected. We are living in a simulation. Not only are we living in a simulation, but a scripted simulation, but our lives are scripted as well. I might share this with you all at a later stage, but it would mean giving out an awful lot of personal information that I don't want to, I don't really want to put out. But Harry and I spoke about it the other day, and the connections were just impossible to be coincidence. All right, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I was born on October 1, which is 1 day and 9 months into the year, right? So that's a 19. My initials in Chaldean numerology, 19. If you add up all the numbers in my date of birth, 19. 9 and 1 is 10, which is a 1. I was born on 1/10, October the 1st. My name in Chaldean, my first name in Chaldean numerology is 8. My first and second name is 8. My full name is 8. My birth playing card birthday, my birth date playing cards is the 8 of diamonds. You can't make this stuff up, guys. And if you look at diamonds, we spoke about diamonds, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. The diamond suit in any in the playing cards is the only one where the Jack, Queen, and King are like that. You can only see one eye. Yeah. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Lucifer. Yeah. Sun, moon in the sky. The stars are diamonds. Yeah.
Should I tell everyone my association with Ricky Ricardo and Lucy?
Yeah.
So I was driving the other day and I thought, we were talking about Lucifer. The conversation between Nigel and I was still in my head, and we were saying how Lucy is Lucifer, probably the female version of the twins. And I thought, okay, well, if Lucy is female and is Lucifer, why would the male be anything other than a male genitalia, which is a dick, right? Well, where do we see Lucy and Dick? Well, what's another name for Dick? Richard, right? And who do we know from old TV but Ricky and Lucy? Richard is Dick, and that's Ricky Ricardo. But not only one Rick, it's Ricky Ricardo. That's a double Dick.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's that connection again is how the two become one and create that triangle of, 1 + 1 = 3. Well, actually like this.
Yeah. Right? Yep. One other thing that I got from Logan on, guys, go to, if you haven't already, Decode Your Reality channel. Mind-blowing stuff. And what he said was he works a lot with pi and phi, 3.14, and phi is 1.61, right? That's the golden ratio, if you didn't know. The Fibonacci sequence, the seashells, the flowers, that kind of thing. And what he tells you to do is to take your birthday and go back 161 days and go forward 161 days, right? Once you've got those 3 dates, your birthday being one of them, you go to the day calculator, and you come off the date calculator and just type in what is March the 23rd or whatever, and it will tell you that it will tell you what number of the year is, right? Like it's the 100th day of the year, whatever. So you do that. You got 3 numbers. Now, providing the 2 dates, the 2 extra dates you've got are after February the 28th, right? For leap year, then you've got to add another 3 days, right? So when I added up my first 3 numbers, day numbers, it came to 457. Now remember, we're going 161 back, 161 forward. 457 added up to 16, right? 4 + 5 is 9, and 7 is 16. And when I add the extra 3 days for leap year, that's 460, which is 4 and 6, which is 10. So the actual result was 161. And if you add those 3 numbers together, 1 + 6 + 1 is 8. That's my name in Chaldean, my first name, my first 2 names, my full name, and my birth card, 8 of diamonds. You tell me that this is not a script. If anybody out there listening to this is going to turn around and say, oh, no, that's just coincidence. Come on. Yeah. It's just, again, my birthday being the 1st of October, which happens to be China's national day, the same way as July the 4th is yours in America. In the ordinary English ciphers, gematria ciphers, Nigel is 11. My first and second name is 11, and my full name is 11. So it's 8 in Chaldean, and it's 11 in the regular ciphers.
And we know that
make this up.
We all know that 1s are your number.
Oh God, yeah. The amount of times that I see 11, or I'm going to share this with you guys. I told Harry this. I've still got the receipt, right now. You probably won't be able to see it, but I've still got the receipt. I'd done 2 years at the school, and my contract was up for renewal, right? And I was toying. I was thinking, should I stay or should I move on? I mean, I'm the only foreigner in this town, so it does get a bit boring. And I was thinking about it. I was meditating on it. I slept on it for a couple of days, and I went to the supermarket. And all the stuff that I bought at the supermarket was vegetables and fruit and eggs, all stuff that has to be weighed, right? So you got no idea what it's going to be, what the price is going to be. When I got to the checkout, my bill was $111, 11 cents, Chinese dollars and 11 cents. Oh, it's not very clear. 111.11, right? And my mouth, my jaw dropped. I stood there looking at, you can't be serious. Anyway, I came home, and that was fine. I was thinking about that. Now, there are two main supermarkets in this town that I use. So a couple of days later, still thinking, still musing, thinking about, should I stay, should I go, thinking about this 111.11 supermarket receipt. So I went to the other supermarket that I go to, still thinking about it. Have a guess what my bill came to? 11110. So the first time was 111.11 cents, and the second time was 111.10 cents. 2 consecutive trips to the supermarket. Now, what would you have done? You'd have done exactly the same as me. You'd have said, that is impossible. Yeah, I'm supposed to be here. Where do I sign? And that's exactly what I did, because our lives are scripted. We get these little signs. You know what I mean? The Bible tells you not to look for signs. Well, I'm not looking for signs, but they come. You know what I mean? I was coming back from the supermarket. I told you this, Harry, but I haven't shared it with all the guys out there. I'm coming back from the supermarket. I got an e-bike, right, electric bike. It was on a Tuesday. It was around noon. I've been to the supermarket. I got a load of stuff on the bike, and I'm sitting at the traffic lights, 1 block before my apartment, and I had this overwhelming feeling. It was like a message. Don't take your bike up to the apartment, right? And I ignored it like a twat. I ignored it, and I brought my bike up here. And now I had to go back to work at 3 o'clock in that afternoon. And guess what? When I opened my front door to go to the lift, the elevator, it was broken. The elevator was out of order. So I had to walk. I'm on the 15th floor. I had to walk down all the stairs and go and get a cab to go to work. If I'd listened to my bling, that wouldn't have happened. I'd just walked down the stairs, got on my bike, and gone back to work. And when I came back, oh, guess what? The elevator was fixed. It'd been repaired. So there's a lot more to this, guys, and there's a lot of stuff that we're coming across, we're finding, and stuff is finding us as well.
Well, you're talking about the bling and the bike. Many times a day, isn't it? You're doing something, and somehow you get this feeling that you either stop or don't do that. And when you listen to it, things go fine.
Yeah.
When you don't listen, that usually something goes a little bit off.
Now, Logan on Decode Your Reality, he asserts that little voice in our head is not us, right? Mm-hmm. It's not our thought, right?
Could be the higher self, maybe the higher self.
Could be the higher self, yeah. Listen to your gut, listen to your heart, listen to your bling, because it's never wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Yeah. No. So, and yeah, signs. I mean, purposely, I was thinking about this contract for at least a week. Should I stay or should I go? And then, I mean, it's never happened before. Never happened since. Just those 2 occasions, 11111 and 11110. Never happened again. Never happened. Never happened before that, and never happened after that. And that was over a year ago now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. All right, guys, look, we'll leave it there. We've been rambling on long enough. We don't want to make it too long because people won't watch. Anything you want to say before we go, bro?
No, I just hammered home that we live in duality. We mentioned multiple times that we are composed of both plus and minus. There's both male components, but we're just not told exactly how they function and what the purpose is. But the counterfeit has a different plan, and their plan is not to. They're going to try to mimic what is real, but they're not. They're doing a poor job of it, and instead they're trying to create a new form of identity, which is almost neutral to the point where you won't be able to distinguish between one or the other.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other thing, just to finish on that, is, you know, we hear a lot of things about nanobots, right? Now, what's a nanobot? Well, a nanobot is a robot, and a robot is made of moving parts. So just give that some logical thought, guys, when you think about nanobots.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and please let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you don't want to put your thoughts in the comments, both Harry's email and my email will be there. Just flick us an email. If you've got anything you want to send us, just send it to our email. Okay.
And also the VPN link is there as well.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. The VPN link is there. I know we've got some new subscribers, so welcome. This is the VPN that we use. I'm in China, but my connection right now is going through Istanbul. You can go through any of these places, any of these countries. You can also link. You can have two devices on your account, so you can connect to your laptop and your phone at the same time. $70 a year, we get 30% off, so it's $49. Link and the promo code will be in the description. All right, guys, don't forget to go over and show Logan some love over on Decode Your Reality. And I'm really looking forward for us to get together and do a show with not only him, but Michelle Gibson as well. So we've got some good stuff coming up, guys. All right. Catch you on the next one, guys. Much love.